There she is. Welcome back, Rosa.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on today.
How did you feel after our last session?
It was so much fun. It ended like at a later time than I'm used to being up, so there was so much energy going, so much adrenaline. It was a beautiful experience,
Yeah.
to say the least.
All right, so I want to start this one again. We did an audio podcast. We had some issue with the video, but I didn't want to. Excuse me, I didn't want to destroy it. So it's on the Spotify and audio, all those things, and people can listen to that one. We had an amazing interview. So I wanted to get you back, and I wanted to get for our YouTube viewers. But I have a surprise, and you have no idea what it is, and I'm basically just going to tell you what my idea is. So, do you know what that is?
Let me look closer here. I mean, it looks like a brick. Or what is it, a treasure box?
Yeah, similar, like a little box.
Okay.
All right, so someone sent me this. It's apparently a Dybuk box. Are you familiar with those?
No.
Okay. So the box is completely sealed in wax, candle, stuff like that. Apparently there's something in here that has such an evil entity that they've sealed it up in this box. I'm gonna open it.
Of course.
And I figured I'd like to have you here because if you may feel something coming out. I'm doing this in my home studio, so I'm exposing myself, my house, and my dog to this. Yeah, so I'm just gonna cut it open, and we're gonna go from. Actually, I'm gonna light it on fire and try to melt the wax.
I'll call 911 for you. Just text me the exact address of where you are.
So yeah, I'll go where the latch is. That's getting messy. So what have you been up to in the meantime while I dig at this thing? Why don't you talk for a second? Let me go get a knife.
Okay.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Okay. So I've been writing my classes, writing the courses because I want everyone in the world, everyone in the universe to be able to tap into their own intuition and manifest and create their own lives. That way, when I die, everyone is doing it on their own. And even before I die, the world is becoming a better place. In all seriousness, so what I've been doing is waking up, writing, creating, going to sleep, waking up, repeat. Because that's the state of flow that life has put me in, and I'm being very appreciative.
Right.
So let's see what this is all going to bring by the end of the year, my love.
Do you have? Are you writing a book?
No, I did write a book though. The Woman's Guide.
Oh, you wrote one already?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a published book. Give us the link for it.
Okay, you can find it on Amazon. It's called The Alchemy of Irresistible Classy Women.
Give us a little synopsis. What's it about?
It's very short. It's more like a guide. I shouldn't call it a book because it's a book, but it's that short because it gives women the main principles that they need to become their best selves from the inside out, mentally, physically, spiritually, to look their best, feel their best, emit the best so that they keep receiving the best. So it's nothing about becoming a cocky woman. It's more of your soul and your mind are going to become so beautiful that you're just going to have manifestation after manifestation, love and happiness one after the other. It's amazing, a very beautiful, beautiful thing to create. And it's going to empower, anyone that reads it will be empowered. I gear it more towards women because I find that a lot of women ask me for advice, and I say, no, I'm going to put the most important things in a book.
Right.
For them. But anyone that knows my consultations and coaching is always to help everyone. Spirit doesn't see female or male. Spirit just wants to connect to people.
Right. Oh, you guys look up her book. I'm sure it's amazing. So, okay, I broke the lock. Whoever closed this up, I mean, they took their time doing it. They don't want it open. All right. I cracked the seal. And I'm going to show you first. What the hell?
Oh, the light's very bright on it. It kind of looks like leaves is what I can see on the top of it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me show these guys.
Like it's a nest or something.
Um, Jesus, it's okay. It's like a human bone, some human hair. Oh, some kind of nesting. And then there's like rocks and marbles at the bottom. So, okay, it's open. It's been opened. I'm gonna leave it there and see if you feel anything. See anything cool. God, it stinks. I don't know why somebody would send me a human bone. Now, am I supposed to report that to the police, or do I just destroy it? What am I supposed to do? I know nothing about it other than somebody found this box in their basement. They looked it up. They figured out what it was. They wanted nothing to do with it. They called me. I said, sure, send it to me, and I took it. I've had it in my office for the longest time, just sitting there, and I got tired of looking at it, and I wanted to open it. So I opened it, and I found human hair and like a broken wrist bone. Like a heel. I'm not touching it, but that's what it is.
No, I don't feel any bad energy. And as you can tell, I was smiling after you opened it because we know I'm a witch. I mean, I'm called a witch or whatever. So to me, it sounds like the perfect spell. It's like you've got hair, you've got human. This is gonna sound so bad. You have what we would call like human materials or DNA, right? Stuff that has DNA.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, how'd you figure that's a real human bone, though? The hair we know it could be of a person. Really would be the perfect spell.
It's long. It's like wrapped up like somebody took like your hair. Like if I was to cut about by your ear and take it down, that's about how long it is, and it's a good knot of it.
Okay. Well, some people do get bones from the cemeteries, right? Because in these rituals, sometimes this is the feeling that I'm getting. I'm not getting anything scary of like I killed someone and ripped the bone out. This is more of something that was put together with intention, put away to make it a sacred kind of a thing. A lot of spells are put into treasure boxes, jars, and that sort of a thing. And if you don't want anyone else to know what's in there and you're going to have it at home, when you cover it with wax, it's going to look like a decoration or whatever you want it to look like, right? People are not going to be suspicious. So I don't feel anything negative. It feels, I know, whatever, in whatever way I'm going to be judged.
Go for it. Listen, you don't think I get judged on this thing? Go for it.
It feels like love.
I was gonna say, when I opened it up, it actually felt like some type of romance, but I wasn't sure if it was like romance where the guy did a spell and, like medieval stalker type of romance.
Like it just felt peaceful. Am I wrong? You would sense the energy in your home, especially.
I actually feel nothing. If something were to hear, I would have started to get I call it the vibrations. My insides start to vibrate or chatter or whatever. And that usually means something's around, so I feel nothing.
Yeah, I just felt you peaceful. Like, if nothing had happened after you opened it,
yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, it definitely would have been a rush. Now, I mean, if all the cameras glitch or something, and I'll let you know. So, what we figured out what you think or what we think it is, but the actual, the process of a Dybuk box, they're trying to trap whatever this item or object with an evil entity attached to it. But explain to me how people ask me this all the time, how does sticking an object in a box and melting wax keep a spirit from doing anything? Like what makes it go in the box? I don't quite understand that.
Okay, well, there's a lot of mystery as far as that, but to give the most important details about this sort of I don't know if you want to call it a ritual or spell casting or spirit holding kind of a thing. It's all going to be about the intention, and the person could have had their own religion, whether it was paganism, Hinduism, whatever it was, consider themselves a witch that uses many different crafts.
I am actually a minister for every religion, non-denominational, so if anybody wants to use my services. Shameless plug.
Well, you're open to the world and to spirit. All different kinds of people, spirits, beings, and they'll find out with time. about more about.
I'm sure they know already. Trust me.
Yeah. So about this box, how? Okay. So let's say they did use a human bone from a cemetery. I personally have not seen a ritual with these exact items where it's, I'm not looking at the box. I can't see what kind of leaves it was wrapped in. I haven't seen any spell that has those exact.
I don't know what this here. I'll take it out. Whatever. Should I have a mask on?
Oh, whoa.
Can you see that?
Yeah, it looks like fern.
It literally looks like the shit you find in a bird's nest. There's all kinds of like ash coming out. God almighty, what am I breathing in?
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm probably breathing in bone marrow from some dead person. Oh, God.
Curious Mike, did you inhale Corona just now?
I'm immune to Corona. I am. I did the research. So, again, did we talk about we'll talk about that next. But let me just show you the rest. So there's the big clump of hair. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, Jesus, you're going to make me touch this friggin' thing? Oh, there's the bone.
Okay.
And it's just a sliver of what looks like probably like something in your arm. I don't know what kind of love story that is.
Okay, so
there's a bunch so they burned out the candles, whatever they were, they lit candles in here and let them burn out. And then there's a couple marbles, there's some stones at the bottom, but there's all kinds of ash in there, and I really don't feel like breathing any more in.
Okay, so there were candles that were burnt inside, you're saying,
yes.
As well?
Yes.
Okay, not just on the outside. So a bird's nest, when someone does work, can symbolize a relationship, right? Because the bird's nest, blah, 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 I want to have a future with this man or woman.
Okay.
That's one part of it. A bone, let's hope,
let's hope. Maybe I should get the address of who sent this to me.
If they got the bone from a cemetery.
All right, wait, hold on. Wait, in theory, if they got the bone from a cemetery, but how does one go about getting a bone from a cemetery?
That's easy. Listen, go to the cemetery.
Yeah.
Especially when the sun is gonna go down, and you will find people at tombs. People get arrested for this kind of stuff. I'm not sure how often it happens in America, but I know in Latin America it's something that happens often. I mean, even here, you could hire someone that does conjurings and that sort of a thing. And if they're open to it, they may use the ground, like dirt from the cemetery, because it has like remains of spirits, obviously, and has some kind of an energy related to the spirits that are buried in there.
Right.
I don't know how they do this.
Okay. I shouldn't have asked, but it's okay. So this brings me, excuse me, this brings me to your COVID question. Do you know what your blood type is?
It's O positive.
Okay, and I'm O negative. So the O blood type is pretty much resistant to everything except stomach ulcers and like stuff in your GI. So you should pretty much be immune. You shouldn't be getting sick.
Okay. So wait, is O positive the one that's is good for everyone's blood?
No, that's me.
Oh, sorry. Then I'm O negative.
Okay, so you're me.
Yeah.
You're the alien blood that has no traceability. I did a podcast about it.
Okay.
You don't know that?
No.
There's a thing on History Channel, Ancient Aliens. I think it's like season 5. I'll text it to you. It's like season 5, number 11. And they do a 5 or 6 minute clip where they trace back Rh negative blood, which they can't. It's like only 15% of the world has it, and O negative is even more rare than that, and it's traced all the way back to like somewhere. It's royalty, but it doesn't originate from anywhere. Like the original people that they've tested all had positive, and then all of a sudden Rh negative people just appeared out of nowhere. So they say that we're like aliens or human hybrid aliens. It would make sense. Look, you're not normal, nor am I. And exactly. It's funny that we both have everybody that walks in my shop and starts to talk that has similar stuff, I'll always say, what's your blood type? And they'll be like, oh, negative. I'm like, how did I know?
Wow.
It actually, I believe it was in that one or something I saw on YouTube, people with that rare blood type are actually drawn to each other. Like somehow we don't know how. Yeah. You should do more. Yeah, you have an alien blood race. You should alien blood type. You should look it up.
So the nest, right, could symbolize the love that someone wanted to bring about. Then the bone could have been the way people, okay, the belief is that even though the spirit leaves the body, let's say the bone was in the cemetery because the person already died. It's not like they killed it to get the bone. So, that's a whole different energy that's going to be connected to that bone. So the person already died. They happen to have access to this bone. Even morticians, like I know someone that I can say was a practicing mortician, and she was a practicing witch. She could get bones. Okay, if I wanted a bone, I could just be like, hey. But I don't work with bones, right? But it was kind of like
for entertainment purposes only. This is scripted. Don't take this serious. She did not just say she could get bones from a mortician. We're joking. We're reading a script.
This is such a joke.
Edit. No, I'm only kidding. Go ahead. Listen, I know where to go. You yelled at me like, oh, at least now I know you know how to get rid of a body. Okay, and you get the bones.
But okay, I'd be caught like they know like where I got the bones from. They'd be like, well, Mike has no connection to this. So the bone, they could get the bone from the cemetery. Okay, so the belief is that the spirit's energy is still somehow connected to this bone. So it doesn't mean that the spirit's living in the tomb, for example, day and night, but part of its energy is still connected to it. So when they take the bone, they're supposed to leave something for the spirit in exchange. They could leave a penny, literally, a few pennies, whatever they want to leave.
And why are they leaving something for the spirit?
It's supposed to be like taboo. It's kind of, you're supposed to give an exchange of something, an offering is what.
Does that go back to the 2 coins on the eye to pay the ferryman when they used to push the dead out to the water?
I haven't heard of that.
Really?
Learning, but no, I haven't heard of that.
It might be like all mythological stuff, but yeah, if you watch like Clash of the Titans and stuff, or any of those old, they'll put 2 coins, whatever they were back then, on the eyes, and apparently like the Grim Reaper comes and takes them away, and that's the ferryman's like pay. That's the myth or whatever it is.
Well, the way you're describing is pretty much that. There's an exchange that happens. It's like you're buying a spirit, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the person's supposed to, let's say, ask the spirit, okay, in order for me to keep this person next to me, you're gonna torment them if they don't stay. So if they don't stay, the person's supposed to become uncomfortable and all these different things.
Okay.
Or whatever they want to ask the dead body to do for them. Now, rocks and stones you're supposed to use in rituals for your enemy. Like if you want your enemy to disappear, right? So maybe there was a third person involved.
So we spoke on the audio podcast about when I go to sleep, I don't believe that I dream. I believe that I'm visiting different realities. So I may have some proof of that. And I'd like to hear what you think. Last night, sometimes I definitely go to different ones, and I can remember bits and pieces. I try to wake up and, compartmentalize it all and figure out what it is. One of the realities, I'm still a cop. I hate that one. I live in an apartment. It's just a horrible life, but I'm there all the time. So I was in a crowd situation. It's hard to understand what we were doing, but we were kind of fighting people. I was working, and somebody poked me with something that burnt me. And I was like, son of a... Don't remember much after that. Went to another reality, which was much more calm. Excuse me. Eventually woke up. When I went to the bathroom, I took my shirt off to wash my face, and obviously my beard drips. I don't want it all over my shirt. I looked down, and I had a red spot. And I'm thinking, all right, it's the dog, because, sometimes he'll scratch me or something. I looked down. I literally had a blister. Like when you get burnt, there was literally a blister with, water in it. It was kind of, turned, almost like an S, but not fully. And I, popped it, and the water came out, and underneath it was, burnt skin. And I pushed it down like you do, and I was like, okay, that's weird. So... go. What happened?
we're all gonna have different beliefs, right? But I don't attach myself to beliefs personally, and I know that's the way that you work.
Right.
Now, I do know for sure that people are able to travel during their dreams. It's
Right.
actually been one of my personal goals. Like I think about it and then I get scared. I'm like, oh, but you definitely can visit other people while you're dreaming. You can visit other places while your body is sleeping, and you have the energy, the mentality, the confidence to be able to leave your body. Now, when it comes to parallel realities, that's something that I have not conquered.
Okay.
I haven't seen it, and to me, it's I need to learn about something. I need to experience it. I need spirit to show me, and the only thing that spirit has shown me in regards to parallel realities is their spirit world, and it's weird. I was telling you last time, it's more of like you feel their furniture, but I can't see it. But then again, I told Spirit, please don't show me things because it was scaring me. But it's anyone, we're all supposed to be living with them. And they're supposed to have other things and we bump into them, but we can't see it. If you want to call that a parallel reality, would you?
Okay.
But this is totally different. What you're saying is more of you're visiting a whole other reality.
It's not just one. There's four that I could, if I had somebody that could draw, I could literally draw you each house, the room, where I work, what I do, who's in my life. It's literally four different like worlds, and I don't go to each one every night. Sometimes I spend an entire night in one. Sometimes I'll go from one to another. Just recently, I don't know if I told you, I was in one. I went to sleep. I woke up in another one, and then when I woke up from that one, I was in bed still in the sleep, and then I had that. So like I literally went to bed in sleep and went to another reality from sleep in a dream, like, or whatever you want to call it. It's very confusing. I wake up very tired. I don't wake up rested. I wake up like I literally ran around all night, like I'm exhausted.
It's one of the feelings that people get when they literally leave their body and visit people on this dimension and this reality. So it could just be that I haven't gotten to an evolution spiritually where I'm able to do that. So
Yeah.
I really wouldn't want to mislead anyone.
Sure. I think it's funny that I go from nothing to jump into leaving my body in like a couple years. Maybe there's like a slower, it's like a slower course we can take here.
Oh, like you mean literally the changes I've made in the last 2 years?
Yeah.
When you open up that door, that's why they say, okay, knowledge is power, and it sounds cliche, but it's like if you open the door to spirit, it's only gonna get wider. You can't close it. This is not possible.
I know that. I don't think I told you, or maybe I mentioned it in one of our text messages. After our last podcast that we did, the visions, everything was so strong here. I think you left like an impression, or you transferred some energy or something, because for like a day or so, everything here was like clear. I was seeing things clear as day.
So I'm gonna try not to reveal too many of my mental secrets that I want to treasure forever. But what I can say about that is we all have an aura, we all have an energy, we all connect to the universe. We all have our guides or angels, whatever you want to call them. But I definitely can say I put in an intention of when I'm around others to make sure to bless them or give them light, love, any kind of a positive energy. And it's one of the reasons why I monitor interactions. And I don't take all that credit, because what happens is I make sure my higher self connects to your higher self. And your beings of light, whatever surrounds you, knows that at the end of the day, I have the best intention for you, the best intention for me, and anything that comes out of every single interaction, I've set it up in a way where it doesn't matter if they're strangers while I'm walking my dog, and that's sort of a thing. So yes, you're definitely going to feel the energy, and it's supposed to be something that's very, very positive and help you on that spiritual journey.
So is this something that I should continue to explore, or just leave it alone?
What part?
The leaving. Like, should I continue to try to like figure out where I'm going and why? Like, because when I'm in there, I know, like, I'm conscious of here. If something gets bad there, I literally shake my head like it's this weird thing. I'm like, rah! And I appear back here in my bed and I wake up like, wow. So like I can leave whenever I want. I'm conscious of this one being like, I guess, my main reality. It's very strange. And you can't tell anyone about it because they start dialing 911. Like, okay.
It's okay. A lot of things that people say are, like considered to be crazy, but then when they reach a different spiritual level, they realize, oh my God, it was true. Listen,
Right.
there was a doctor that lived here, okay? So when they asked what I do, it was during the beginning phase. I don't want to say beginning stages, but it was at a point where I wasn't like, this is who I am, and if you don't like it, I'm sorry, or if you don't believe it or whatever. It was more of like, I don't want to be judged, and I'm kind of scared to tell.
I remember that, yeah.
Right? So about like 6 years ago or something.
Yeah.
So when the doctor asks me, we're playing pool because I had like a little party in our lounge with a few of the neighbors. He says, what do you do? So I'm like, I said, I'm a medium. He's like, oh, so you believe in energy and that all that kind of stuff can really help and change your life? I said, yes. But it was like he was hitting on me. And then, I mean, after that, like he was nice, but he was kind of like, okay, whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, let me tell you, a couple of years later, I see him much more humble, okay? Not this, like, I think I'm walking around like I'm better than everyone and all this other stuff. I was surprised. So nice to me in the moment, I guess maybe because it was the only time we had actually talked, and I don't know.
Right.
After this, when I saw him with the red string a couple later on the left wrist, calm, humble, such a calmness to his energy, just, you could tell spirit had touched him in some way and something led him to that red string. So if you are experiencing this, maybe some of us haven't gotten there yet. Maybe I haven't. That's okay. The more you admit that you're not aware of or you have experience, the more you're opening up that door. And honestly, it's gonna attract more honest spirits or whatever. But just what I would say is keep in mind that when you're using your energy in these other realities that you're experiencing, when you're leaving your body, you're gonna have to find a way to either refuel that energy, or you shouldn't. Not that you won't be able to, because you will, but you shouldn't continue on that path. So it's just something to consider. Like if you're working on being in this life and what you're creating, what you're manifesting, what you're living, the energy you're giving certain relationships, certain projects, how much energy are you really gonna have to be have these other lives? If it feels peaceful and you feel relaxed and it fuels you with energy, continue on that path. But anytime you feel like energy is being depleted, you have to find a way to rebalance everything, or you'll find that you'll even age faster.
That's not gonna happen. The funny thing is, one of the realities is this one, but fast forward. So I don't know how far ahead it is, but things I'm working on now are already done in that one. I'm experiencing all the things that I'm trying to manifest now. I'm already experiencing them there. Like I see things there. So I always say, like, that's what I got to catch up to. Like they're showing me that it's all there. I have to just keep doing what I'm doing. I think I told you every single time I look at the phone, there's numbers. I'm constantly on the app trying to figure out what they all mean. It's like, okay, hold on, I'm looking. Like, and they pretty much all, some are based on decisions I may have just made. I'll see something and it's like, they're behind you on this decision, but everything is that I'm working on the right path for what is supposed to be. So I don't know, that one reality is very weird because everything that I work on now is already accomplished there, and I'm just doing new stuff that I didn't think about here, that now I'm like, oh, okay.
Always remember to be mindful, because our spirits also show us, or the universe, however you connect to it, your higher self too, is gonna, even while you're awake, let's say right now, you might start getting thoughts of a vision of the life you imagine, because we're always manifesting, always creating more. Even after you get one thing, like I'm sure after you've got one store you want, 2 stores, or whatever the heck you want. You said 4 realities that you're going through. Mm-hmm. So is this part of one of those 4 realities?
Yeah, that's one of them. That's my calmest, like everything I've dreamt of is happening there. It's almost like let's say 5 years in the future from where I am right now?
Okay. We'll see. I'm hoping to be able to experience something like that, but I would have to take step one and have at least one out of body experience. Though the closest I've come to that is people telling me that I'm giving them revelations. And when you really care about people, you're not thinking like, I want to set up an appointment and I have to have a consultation with such and such person to help them. Like, the universe is gonna say, okay, you do it. You give them the advice, you give them the help, or you point them in a direction, or listen to them and they themselves will point themselves in that direction.
Right.
And then life will gift you through another way and take care of you through another way. But I noticed personally, I could even say one time I was attracted to an insurance guy, right, that came here. I can't say who, right? No names. But he literally only
Give us a first initial.
I don't remember actually.
Oh, well, he wasn't that important. You weren't that important, bro.
He's on one of my policies. I bought a policy, so I could probably look for the name. But
does he follow your YouTube channel?
I don't think so.
Oh, your Instagram?
Oh, you're trying to get clues now. I'm a little.
No, because I'm gonna post this link on your Instagram, so he's gonna see it and he's gonna see us talking about him. So,
because
hey, insurance guy, if you see this, contact us because we want to talk to you about this. All right? Go ahead.
That'd be cool. Now that I think about it, because what if he was visited and I never asked him?
Exactly.
So, I remember I was very attracted to him physically. Oh, I was attracted to him. I was surprised. I mean, the culture, I like that culture. Even though I like the rainbow, but I like that culture. I was like, oh.
Wait, what culture? Did I miss that part?
Yeah, I won't say.
What's the culture?
That'll be too obvious.
Well, you said I like that culture. Jamaican. No? Italian.
It's one of the cultures I'm the most attracted to. Okay? It could be, because you don't know if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, how many policies I have with, insurance policies. But let's say
I never asked you what you were attracted to, so I don't know.
I said I'm attracted to the rainbow because I am. But as far as cultures, like the way you're treated and their literally spiritual culture, their values.
Haitian.
Hold on, I'm just gonna say it, okay?
Go for it.
I don't want to say it. I don't feel like I'm leaving anybody out.
Send it to me.
Send it
Dominican.
To no. I can tell you that's a big no. No capital letters because I was born here.
Listen, no offense to any of my Dominican viewers. I do not share the expression, whatever they say. I'm going to insert my official thing right here because I have no idea what to say.
No, you can say I am American. I was born in America, thank God. A blessing. My parents are Dominican. And as far as romance, when I see that flag, I'm sorry.
All right, so what you don't try to get off. Go back. No.
Oh my God. Okay, let's just say my outfits, they would like these patterns, right? That culture would like the pattern.
I can't see it. It looks like Jamaican.
Jamaican, are you serious?
I can't tell. Why don't you just say it? We're just going to sit here for like the next 15 minutes until you break. So you might as well just say it. I'll just stare at you.
Jesus. I'm going to say 2. I like the Middle Eastern culture as far as the romance and Indian culture. That's all I'm going to say. Who knows? I have so many policies, who would know? But then again, one of my ads is white. But so I'm not going to say anything at all, okay? So back to my story. In my dream, this gentleman that I was attracted to.
Yes.
My bedroom. So we didn't do anything in the dream, but I was attracted to him and he was standing there. He had all his clothes on and I just remember feeling like I was going to seduce him, but I couldn't see more than that. Because after he left, I felt like I should have maybe said something because he's professional and he's not supposed to flirt. But then I wondered, did he experience this in his dream? And then I have people that, I don't want to say clients, but let's say that I get consultations because I consider even the people that I do consultations with, to me, it's a sacred relationship and that's family forever. It's forever. Unless they're respectful and hurting me, then spirit's like, okay, you gotta get away from this because it's not serving you, even though you're trying to serve them.
Right.
I only have one person that happened with. And I'm sorry, I don't know what when he reappears, I'm gonna have to like set him straight and say, do you remember treating me this way? Do you remember? I mean, they didn't treat me any kind of way, but they sent me a picture that was rude of something, like kind of wanting to have me reading between the lines, which I never experienced. But that also shows a lot about your attitude as well, that you are in that time when that situation is mirrored onto you.
Okay.
Okay, so long story short, sorry, I got out of the
Too late.
Yeah. So long story short, I have clients, let's say before I did the YouTube, she was like, oh my God, Rosie, I had a dream that you had a YouTube channel. And I was actually like writing, like, what should my channel be about? And should I show all parts of me or do you stick to one topic and have different channels kind of a thing? And I was like, God, like, do I even want to do it? Like, how many people are going to follow me? Like, you know? And so when she sent me the message, it was like, oh my gosh. And I care about her so much. I'm like, you know what? She watched videos I know would help her.
Sure.
And she's time, but I'm like, in between sessions, if she could like look at this, it would help her so much and even entertain her from time to time. So that was nice. And then I have people that literally tell me, give me revelations. Like I had a family member, is all I can say, that was gonna get plastic surgery. And
plastic surgery where?
So they call me, and in the session, they're asking me that kind of a thing, I normally would say, no, if it's gonna affect your health, I can't live with if something happened because you're not gonna have 100% accuracy.
Sure.
There's no way. Your will is gonna intervene things, and decisions that other people can too. And then like, what if she dies or she gets sick? Then it's gonna be my fault.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? She's literally making decisions that I know could really harm her life. So I'm like, if I don't do it, I'm gonna feel guilty anyway, and I might be able to help her.
Right.
So she gets names of doctors. I don't know these doctors' names that she's given me, but I get an image of her losing, like she has to lose grief. So when I do mediumship, it's kind of like playing charades. So it's like, I'm being shown grief, like you need to lose grief. And she's like, well, I have one doctor and they're telling me to lose the weight, but I've heard that this doctor does the surgery anyway if you don't lose the fat, so I still want to go to him. And I was like, no, look, they're telling you, like, if you get it done, they're showing me these visions that are just not good, and I can't show you everything, but this is part of the charades we're playing here. Name of another doctor, right? She gave me like 5 her name or 6, but one name of one female doctor. And this surgeon told her, before you arrive here, she was going to we can say out of state to get the surgery. The doctor tells her, you need to lose this much weight, you need to send me the blood work, you need to send me health records, all this other stuff. When you arrive, we're gonna run tests on you again. If everything is fine, your weight's at the level supposed to be, we'll perform the surgery. This is your recovery time. When she gets there, 2-3 days later, she goes to her doctor appointment after she arrives from the airplane. And the lady tells her, the weight you can lose, it was like 4 or 8 pounds, something like that. You know, you can lose that in a few days. If you put your mind, it's not hard.
Yeah.
But aside from that, we found something in your blood that if I had done the surgery, you could have bled to death or had a thrombosis.
Right.
So the doctor didn't do it. She could have gone to another doctor.
Yeah.
But Spirit said, the energy around this doctor feels good. Stick with her because she is not gonna cut rules. She's not gonna bend this. She's not gonna bend that. She had the opportunity to go to all these other doctors that will do whatever she wanted, whatever she needed. God knows what her. So in her dream, she told me that I gave her some kind of message, and people are telling me I'm giving them messages in dreams. So I'm like, I guess God or the universe must trust me enough because I'm not intentionally saying, you know, while you sleep, I'm trying to like give you messages. No, but that could be you in another reality, and you just haven't connected with it yet. We'll explore. I don't know what it is.
You use frequencies and stuff like that. We've talked about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I started. I would go to sleep with a frequency on. Didn't know what was happening, and like used 1 or 2 nights, and then next thing I know, I'd wake up and I'd be like, that was weird. Because I've always had images, like I'll meet somebody and be like, oh my God, this person's in like that reality. It's like, I never met you before, but I know you. But when you start adding in the frequencies, like you can like spend time, like a long time. There's times where I wake up, like an alarm wakes me up, and I try to get up, and I'm completely not in there yet. Like I'm like, oh, it just feels horrible. Like I'm trying to wake up from the dead.
Just be careful whose frequencies. I mean, obviously, from what I'm catching on about the energy and the way you're tuning in, you're literally tuning into like numbers of frequencies, like let's say 528. Just as an example, like you know
Right.
frequencies and you're researching before you look them up.
Right.
I don't get all information here, so don't judge me. But there are intentions that people can put into these recordings where they could use your energy.
Right.
And say, hey, this is my opportunity. Like, all these people are tuning in, free energy. You know, I mean, somebody else's energy.
So I've researched the frequencies, and if you go in something as simple as what's it called, audio something, you can download on your computer. You can literally just set the tone, and then you can put background music on it. So you're basically making your own. So it's safe. You don't have to. Because I know there's ones on YouTube, and if you read in the description, there's all types of subliminal stuff that you would never know if you didn't read it, and you might not want to hear that stuff.
Yeah.
So there could be one playing right now, just saying, "Listen to Terror Talk. Listen to Terror Talk. Listen to Terror Talk."
Even the demons, if they wanted to come after me, I'd be like, "Welcome, please help me." Like this way.
I saw you.
Don't scare me.
Yeah, I don't get scared of anything. You get scared?
I mean, if you have like sleep paralysis, if I get
I've had it. I haven't. Last summer, I posted it on my Instagram. I literally opened my eyes. I was downstairs, and I opened my eyes, and I looked up, and there was like a shadowy thing like over me, and I literally couldn't move. And I remember just going, "Oh, this is fun."
Oh no! Oh no!
What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? It's gonna take me somewhere I haven't seen yet. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's go see what's there.
That's like a violation of our rights.
No, I'm sure there's a way back.
No. Oh, yeah. Don't remind me. That don't scare me. And you know what's crazy? Like I have the spirits play images. I mean, I don't tell them what to do. I shouldn't word it that way. But I said, hey, please don't show yourselves to me physically because it scares me.
Right.
So but then like sometimes even in my place I've had like orbs, but like larger orbs, like look like clouds that other people see. Like my sister was here once and I went to the bathroom, I come back, she's just sitting there, everything is fine. And all of a sudden you see, it looks like a cloud almost, but like orb, like moving like this. And I'm looking at it, but I'm used to, sometimes they'll show me things, but they won't show me themselves visually. Right. So I'm like, okay, an orb, it's normal. But this was a different kind of orb. This was like, it could have been like a jellyfish almost, just cloud. It's hard to explain. It looked like lights at the same time, but blurry, like, what is this here? Like smoke kind of. But it was like almost tangible, but it was, you would know something spiritual. My sister looked at it and she's like, and I'm thinking, okay, when I saw it, I froze. I'm like, but I'm thinking my sister probably doesn't see it because she's her gift is in a different way.
Right.
And she's like, did you see that? And I'm like, yes, I did. She's like, should I play dead?
Right.
Who even knows if you played dead? Like, you can't play dead with spirit.
So what was it?
Well, I still don't know. She doesn't know. It didn't have a figure. But during those days, I was going through a lot of hard times, like going to school full time, working full time, being a mom full time, taking care of myself full time. I had the business downtown full time. And I was going through so much, I actually was ready to give up on life, to be honest, but never physically creating a way to do that. But I wanted out. Like I had a few breakdowns in my kitchen, like I can't do this kind of a thing. And Spirit would never let me give up. Spirit was like, they would just uplift me, like find a way.
I've had those. Mine takes a day or two, and then I pop out of it. But yeah, no, I've had those. I told you, I collapsed once and literally watched myself go. Like, hi. I just noticed there's like ash and hair on the floor. Oh God.
Were you trying to leave intentionally when you left your body that day? I don't think so.
No, not at all. I think whatever, like my soul, it didn't want to experience what was going on, so it just lifted away.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Oh, my bad. Like I thought you meant like when I said it, I meant like I literally didn't want to exist anymore. Like just take me. Like if I can't do all this, and I'm on a mission, and my life is not worth living if I'm not doing that. So why even be here sad and going through this stuff? But Spirit, when you're doing work with the universe, it'll find a way to motivate you to stay here.
Yeah.
So
Like
we can't let anything stop us. We have
No.
to
Well, every time I get a little slow, I get a little boost. I get like my producer calls like, once a year. It gives me a little encouragement. I'm coming next month. Still looking at the calendar. So this is just all. Nobody in particular.
Because it does. I really don't. It's like, it's okay because I know you're gonna use it in a way that's gonna be creative. Anytime you use and our text, our calls, our conversations, I live like it might be put out there anyway by accident.
Yeah.
But I know that you would use it with a positive intention.
Speaking of by accident, I had one other thing too. But by accident, I don't believe anything happens by accident. So the fact that this mystery man came up again on this podcast that was in your reality, I think maybe he's going to come forward.
Wait, a mystery man came up in my podcast? Your podcast? What do you mean?
When you're connected with the spirit, sometimes it's a little. Rosa, you just told me about a guy that you saw in your dream, and then you met him, your insurance guy.
I met him in the dream after I met him in real life.
Right. The reason he came up today wasn't chance.
Oh.
That's what I'm telling you.
I don't like him.
Why not?
Number one, he's like very, very, very short. I have
Hey. What do you consider? Slow down. Well, no, I got the floor now. What do you consider very short, Rosa? And you might want to choose your words carefully.
Well, I don't choose my words carefully. I choose them from an honest space.
Mm-hmm.
If you're 5'6" or shorter, I feel like that's like.
So you're giving me a whole 2 inches to like claim my manhood. I'm only 5'8", Rosa.
Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you just posted our pilot trailer. Like you're standing next to me like this. How tall are you? Are you 6? Or are you 5'10"? You're just under. I dated a girl when I was younger. She was 6'2", and when she would leave me, we would go out onto my deck, and she would drop down 1 or 2 steps so that I could hug her face to face. I'm gonna tell you something. I walked around with her. People would look at me like, "What the?" I didn't care. I don't care if she's 7 feet tall. I liked her. So I'll walk around. I don't care. I was born this way. This is me. He was very, very short, she says.
Well, I like to wear heels. So.
Yes, you like to be like 6'4".
Yeah, I know. Like I would like to like be like 5'9", like.
No.
The heels, but whatever.
It adds to your mystery that you have about you.
I'm gonna tell myself that all the time. Like,
what you guys don't know about Rosa is when you talk to her in person, she'll just be talking to you like this. She'll be like, "Oh yeah, it was great. I just drove up here, and it was," and she doesn't realize that she does it, but she looks behind you and like loses her train of thought. Do you know that you do that? I've complained about it many times.
Actually, yeah, I caught on to it when you started telling me that. I was like, yeah, like I'm thinking, okay, first of all, like we're talking to spirits, so spirits, show me things and everywhere.
No, we weren't. The first time you did it, we weren't talking to spirits. We were actually just talking about renting my space, and you kept looking behind me. And if you remember, I go, "What are you looking at?" Like,
oh yes,
the rendezvous. Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. Before we sat down to talk.
Right. Well, we were talking right there because after you said that, I go, "All right, if you want to tell me anything," and that's when you told me about my friend Alan, and I was like, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, your friend has gotten better at keeping her composure and walking, like trying to look from the side of her eye to absorb things now. But still, when I'm talking to people, I notice I still do it. My eyes are everywhere.
Yeah, you do. It's like you're seeing other people and you don't realize that you're like paying them attention.
They still love me. They love me.
We all do. How could we not? The one last thing, because this gets asked to me a lot, so I'd like a better explanation, is explain to everybody what the red on the left wrist is for.
Okay, so the red string comes from the Jewish religion, but many different cultures. It doesn't have to be attached to religion. We use red as a form of a protection. So when you put on the left wrist, the left is where you receive through energetically.
Right.
So let's say someone is giving you an eye with a like hatred or negative energy, or there are negative energies and entities that want to attach themselves to you. It's mainly for the evil eyes energy. Then the red string is supposed to repel it, and in some cases it can even break. And there are people that use it though also in symbolism to remind yourself not to talk bad about others or in any way that's degrading or negative, because that also stops your own good from coming to you.
If you were to wear it on the right wrist, does it do anything negative, or is it just useless?
No, it wouldn't. You can mentally give it the intention of protecting you either way. If you put on the red, if mentally that's where you are, because whatever you believe, you're gonna attach that energy to a thing.
The reason I asked is I think maybe George's wife. George is my partner in one of our shows. I believe Paranormal Pickers. I believe George, he wears it on his right. And when I said you got it on the wrong wrist, he was like, oh no, and he had some reason. But again, he's Greek Orthodox. And I don't know if something with them, if they like to have it on it. But he believes it's the same thing, it's just on the wrong wrist.
Okay, yeah, so if you want that belief, then that's okay too. But energetically, it's put on the left side, because the left side is where you receive. You can receive the good, you can receive the negative. So it's you put it there to stop that from coming in. But if he has the belief that it's gonna work on the right wrist, it'll work.
Yeah. And what about, I heard sometimes like someone has to give it to you, or you can just put it on yourself.
Okay, so in the culture of putting the red string on, it's supposed to be someone that loves you dearly. I mean, I say you love yourself very much. Put it on there yourself too, in all seriousness. But
Sure.
There's a special blessing and energy or light, just positivity that comes from someone else caring for you and putting something on you with a good intention.
Do we want to guess where mine came from?
Yours truly.
Yep. You gave it to me, like, wear this on. I'm like, okay. I didn't even ask. I'm like, okay, whatever it is. And I've since added tons more of it. Well, I want to thank you. I think we gave him enough for tonight. I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Tell me everything you do. Websites, stores, videos. You can have as much time as you want. Take your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for coming again. I know I'm a pain in the ass, but thank you.
A little bit. Just like 50 or 60 or 70% of you is.
About 85%. Let's be honest here.
No, you're not. But in all seriousness, I really thank you and appreciate you. And if anyone wants to tap into spirit more with guidance, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach me contact us at rosasnirvana.com. If you want to get any spiritual items, books, journals, decorative stuff, it's an online spiritual store. You can go to the link that Mike is going to have for you. It's rosasnirvana.com. You can also go to Rosie Nirvana, ROSSYNIRVANA.com for consultations, online classes, to help you manifest and live your dream life. We came here literally to live in bliss. Don't let anyone tell you any differently.
Why don't people understand that? You're here to do what you want to do. That's why you're here. I don't get this whole, like, they get out of high school and they get married and they get jobs and that's it. It's just like repeat. They go to work, they do nothing, they sit home, they go to sleep, and they do it the rest of their lives. And that's living. Yes, good job. I'm sure I made tons of enemies with that one, but I'm sorry. I'm here to live. When I get where I want to be, I'm going to want more stuff, and I'm going to want more stuff, and I'm going to keep going. And the goal, again, with Rosa is we're not here to be famous. We want to help. When I see people and they talk to me on my podcast, it always follows with something that I can either help them with or something that maybe I could go there and release something or just give them some advice on how to do something. And Rosa's the same way. So nothing can stop us.
Nothing can stop us. Walk away.
All right, Rosa, thank you again. I will definitely have you on again soon. And until next time, be safe.